Hey there, it's Bobby Legs, and welcome to another episode of Bobby Legs Loves Watches. And today, you and I will be taking a look at the Baltic HMS 002. A few weeks ago, I had mentioned in a video that I had sector dial on the mind. I went through this phase, and I guess I'm still in that phase, where I was curious about adding a sector dial watch to the collection, but wasn't really sure if it had much staying power. If I would find it boring after a while, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to go affordable or go up the luxury scale, higher up the scale. Because of that, I just didn't know if it was gonna be something that would grab my attention for a long time. And I got to review a wonderful Timex from the Waterbury collection, a very affordable sector dial watch, and I was really impressed by it. And I mentioned in the video that. Man, I would love to be able to take a look at a Baltic HMS 002, which this is obviously, or a Longines sector dial. And my buddy Steve answered the call. He was like, he sent me an email. He had a bunch of watches he wanted me to take a look at to see if I wanted to review. And one of them was this Baltic sector dial. So here it is. So let's get right into the specs. We have a 38 millimeter case diameter, around the 47 millimeter lug to lug. Now the website states a 12 millimeter case thickness. I got roughly around 13 millimeters, and more about that in a little bit. 20 millimeter lug width, stainless steel case, as you can see, brushed, smooth bezel around the dial, and you do have this domed mineral glass crystal here to give it that nice little vintagey look. And you can see how on the edges it kind of warps the view of the dial. So very vintage like. This is a vintage throwback, right? I mean, very popular 1940s style Art Deco watch these sector dials are. You can configure it in a couple of ways on the website of Baltic's website. You can change the strap or add this beads of rice bracelet that Steve has decided to go with. You can also do a solid case back or an exhibition case back. Yeah, I think the exhibition case back is going to cost you an extra $30 American. You can see here that Baltic, it's assembled in France. And this is powered by the Miyota 821A, which has a 42-hour power reserve, 60 meter water resistance. And you can have a choice of your different kinds of straps. There's about 4 or 5 strap options, as well as this beads of rice bracelet. Quick release spring bars, which is awesome. Now I've been wearing this all week on a Barton leather strap, and the reason being not anything against the beads of rice bracelet. I'm sure it's very comfortable, but the screws are really tiny, and I didn't have a screwdriver that I could unscrew them, and that's fine. I'm sure when it came with the package, it included a screwdriver, much like if you order watches from Long Island Watch, his Islanders watches, he sends a screwdriver with it. But even that screwdriver was too big for these guys. So okay, that's fine. You have a bracelet, a milled bracelet here with Baltic. A little bit of overkill with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 micro adjusts. But again, that's okay. The bracelet is rather comfortable, so no complaints there. Let's get into the watch here. So you don't have a screw down crown. The first position is to wind, and then second position will, the final position will hack it, and then you can change the time here. Now the hands are this leaf style hands. They're blue. They're not blued. I doubt that they're blued. They would probably advertise that on the website. I think they're just like painted blue, and you have this very light silver color seconds hand that ticks all the way to the end. Now the dial is actually very cool and very interesting. One of my favorite things about this watch, you do have the crosshairs here, and you have the sandy matted silver dial, and then you have this ring here that is circularly brushed where the hours are laid in, and then the minute hands. The minute track here at the edge of the dial is also that sandy mat, and it's steeped. It's kind of hard to see, but that from that outer edge of the dial, it steeps up into that circular brushed area of the hours of the dial there, and then in the middle of the dial, that's also steeped up as it compared to the outer edge. Crown is signed with the Baltic, the B. Nicely knurled and easy to operate. You do have holes at the lugs here at the end, so you can even do really quick strap changes if you don't have a quick set release on the spring bars. Let me throw this on wrist. However, let's just address something about the thickness of the watch, because it is my major gripe, and it's a potential deal breaker for me. Now, the thickness I said on the site is 12 millimeters, but I measured a 13. And probably this, going with this option of the see-through case back, added some width to that, right? I don't mind width added on the domed crystal here in this particular situation. That's okay. I do mind that it's added down over here. First of all, I mean, this to me should be a dressier piece, and it shouldn't be this thick. But let me just show you what I mean. So I put it on wrist. Now, this is not size for me, but it doesn't really matter. The case back bubbles out from the bottom, and the watch sits on you via the case back here. But what bothers me here is that the lugs seem to be floating in space, right? It looks like a spaceship, like from the Jetsons or something like that. And so that's no good. I actually kind of like the lugs against the skin. It feels like it contours my wrist a little bit better. And that, it gives like this weird illusion because of that, of this bracelet. Now the bracelet will just hang straight down and then go around my wrist. So from the top, I don't know, it kind of looks a little bit weird to me, right? Maybe, in fact, if you have a bigger wrist, it's not that big of a deal, because maybe, the links won't go, the end link won't hit straight down on your wrist like it does for me. But that kind of bothers me a little bit, Usually I'm very forgiving with watches. Like if there's an issue or two, it doesn't really stop me from considering or buying them. But this one might be a big one for me. Look, I like the price. In this configuration with the bracelet, you're looking around $458 American USD. With a leather strap, you're looking at $388. And then it's like an extra $30 if you want the exhibition case back. But I would almost not go with the exhibition case back. I don't know if then the lugs will sit more snug to your wrist or not. I don't know if that's the case. It might have behooved them to go with a manual movement here, a thinner movement, to really advertise that 12 millimeter thinness that they were bragging about their site. Thin profile, they call it a thin profile. I mean, 12 millimeters is okay. It's fine in normal cases, of course. But when I think of you bragging about something that's thin, I would think maybe you're easily have to be under 11, maybe under 10, or around 10, right? Easy Baltic on the thin profile, especially when some of the options allow for this case back here. and it adds thickness to it. You know, I want a wristwatch to be a little bit thinner, honestly. Not this thick. I don't mind my divers being this thick. I don't mind my chronos being this thick. Heck, I have a diver that's over 15 millimeters thick, and I've had chronos close to 16 millimeters thick. So I don't mind that. But I'm thinking of like a little dressy piece with a 38 millimeter case diameter and a short lug to lug, or short-ish. I want it also to be thin, and I want the lugs to hug my wrist, be contact with my wrist a little bit and hug it, not sit in space and look like a spaceship. So I don't mean to be too critical here. I mean, that's just my main gripe. Otherwise, I really, really like the look. I mean, I loved it in pictures that I was actually thinking about it before I got it in hand, and may have even considered buying it, right? And I may not have gotten the beads of rice bracelet on it. I probably would have gone leather strap, but I definitely would have gone exhibition case back, even though we're just talking about a simple Miyota here. Yeah, I mean, so sort of disappointed. I was really had my hopes high on this one. I may just have to go and check out some other models. But look, if you have a bigger wrist, if you have like a 7 or 7.25 inch wrist, this may not be an issue for you, really, because you may be looking at it, instead of the lugs dropping down like this, the links dropping down like this, straight down, you might be looking at a situation like this, and then it doesn't matter. Then it actually looks fine, probably. But somebody with a 6.75 inch wrist like I have, or under, it may be an issue. Anyway, I'm sorry to go long about that, but that's my major critique about this watch. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this watch. Please put a comment below. If my channel is new to you and you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and click that bell icon to get updates when I upload new videos. I love making these videos, and I hope you like them too. And also, if you want to support the channel, please buy me a cup of coffee. The link is in the description. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.